If somebody is giving a $5,000 grant, make sure you ask for $5,000. Don't ask for $4,999 because it will be rejected.
Hello, and welcome to Small Biz Catalyst. My name is Ayisat Abilogun, and I am your host. I am an Economic Recovery Corps Fellow and the CEO of Financial Leadership Club of America. This show is for struggling small business owners who want to be able to earn a consistent six-figure salary from their businesses, and the economic development professionals who support them. Every week, we will delve into innovative strategies, success stories, and actionable insights to empower small businesses as catalysts for economic resilience. We will bring in knowledgeable guests who can help small business owners grow their businesses. Whether you're interested in community development, economic policy, or entrepreneurship, this podcast offers valuable insights and inspiration. At the end of this show, you will learn how to access grants, the best way to position yourself successfully for grants, and some of the common mistakes that you do not want to make so that you can access grants. That free money that every entrepreneur is wondering, how can I get some of it? Enjoy the show as we explore how to grow our businesses together. Good morning, listeners, and good morning, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining me on this very special episode. For those of you who don't know, if you don't know Tracy, first of all, I want to tell you one word: grants. Now, as small business owners and economic development professionals who support them, we know that free money is important sometimes to just infuse in the business, sometimes to jumpstart in the business, and sometimes to just help it grow or stay alive. So Tracy Erby is the director of Texas Women's University and the Center for Women Entrepreneurship. Tracy is actually an entrepreneur herself. She spent 6 years as a small business advisor, and I cannot wait to hear all the nuggets that she's got to share with us today. Tracy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
You are welcome. And so we're talking about money, 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 money. Free money.
Every entrepreneur's wish and goal.
Absolutely. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. So let's just dive in, and I will ask you a few questions. And I think our listeners just want to know, how can I get this free money? Because I feel like it's raining money where you are. Is it?
Well, maybe not raining, but at least drizzling money.
Absolutely. Well, listeners, at the end of this show, you will learn how to access grants, the best way to position yourself successfully for grants, and some of the common mistakes that you do not want to make so that you can access grants, that free money that every entrepreneur is wondering, how can I get some of it? So, Tracy, my first question to you: what are some grant pitfalls that you've seen that we don't want our listeners to repeat? We want them to learn from other people's mistakes.
Oh, I'll be glad to share that. First, let me let everyone know, though, I have judged over 5,000 grant applications. So, with it, I have really learned a lot what you should do and what you should not do when you are applying for a grant. The Center for Women Entrepreneurs has several different programs. So, one of the main things really is read. And we always say in our office, read, read, read. Because the information is there, but you want to make sure that you meet the eligibility requirements. Ours are for women-owned businesses, have to be for profit, and many times a nonprofit or somebody else will apply who's not eligible for the grant. So as you're getting started, make sure you read everything. We have FAQs on our website. We have grant guidelines, and we even have a video you can watch to answer some of these most common questions. And pitfalls that people have. So, first of all, you want to make sure you are really a fit for the program that you're working on. Sometimes
Okay.
people don't answer all of the questions. Ah, and we have to have that. We have a judging committee. There are always at least three people that judge each grant application. So as they're
Wow.
going through, if they can't find what we asked for, they automatically become ineligible. So we don't want that because we know it takes time to fill out a grant application. And then, of course, let us know what the grant funding is going to be used for. What is your project? What it's going to be. And if somebody is giving a $5,000 grant, make sure you ask for $5,000. Don't ask for 4,999 because it will be rejected.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because we're giving you 5,000, you have to spend 5,000. So it doesn't help if you come in with a lower number. In fact, it gets you disqualified. But make sure, again, as you're doing that, you read everything. We also have a dedicated grants email. So anytime you're working on this, if you have a question, send it to us. Do not submit and then ask a question because we've had that
Oh.
happen and you can't go back and edit once you've submitted. So take your time. There's no rush being the first person to send in an application.
I'm taking notes. And I heard dedicated grants email. So I feel like I know we're going to put that in the notes, in the show notes, but just so our listeners who are kind of like, huh, there's one and they're taking notes as I am. What's that dedicated grants line or email?
It's CWE for Center for Women Entrepreneur Grants, GRANTS, at TWU.edu.
All right. Listeners, that's going to be in the show notes, but you've heard it from the grants master herself. It's CWE grants at TWU.edu. If I want to be very truthful, I feel like I've filled out grants where I go at a lower number just because I feel like, oh, I'm more likely to get it. And now I know better. Don't go lower. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just go ahead and ask for what they're given.
Yes.
So, my next question is if you could share maybe three things that an applicant could do to increase their grant writing stakes, because now they know what not to do. But what are three things that they could do to just shoot up their eligibility or possibility of getting that grant?
Well, I'll go back to the three words, but those aren't going to be my answer. But always read, read, read. It is so important to read and give them what they're asking for. So, one grant, we got over 5,000 applications.
Wow.
Know that the grant reviewer only has so much time on your application. Don't send us something we didn't ask for. Don't send, we had somebody one time send a 30-page business plan. We didn't even ask for a business plan. And make sure you highlight the items they want you to answer. We've even gotten on ours where we ask, cut and paste this in answer. We don't really care how pretty the application looks
Hmm.
for. We want your answers. And we have found if people don't do this, sometimes we're looking and we can't find the answers that we need. So make sure it is evident, bold, even our questions in there. We have, it makes it easy. And again, we have judges from all kinds of, we have some past grant winners. We do have people from the College of Business, other entrepreneurs, people that know the industry. So we really just want to get in and read your application. We don't need a whole lot of fluff. And we really recommend that you just write it yourself. This is these are $5,000 grants. Don't spend $1,000 or something on a grant writer. That does not improve your chances at all.
Wow.
Yeah, take your time. Do not rush to be the first to get an application in because that doesn't rank you any higher. Leave it open. If you have an opportunity, maybe share it with a friend. Say, if you didn't know my business, does this make sense?
Hmm.
let us know what your project is and how it's going to help your business. There's so many things our grants you could be eligible for. So if it's training, include that in there. How much? I'm going to get this certification and it's going to help my business because now I can increase my rates. Tell a little story about you. We want to hear about you and your business. So you know, I have always wanted to be a coach. I was telling people what to do from the age of 12 or something. Sometimes we like to hear the background and how you got where you are with your business. And we want to hear this story too, and something that's relatable. So, again, make sure it's relatable. Give us all answers to all of the questions that we ask. We don't want a whole lot more. We don't want a whole lot of fluff. If you are in a specific industry, try to avoid industry jargon that the judging panel may not know what that is. So if there is anything like that, make sure you spell it out so it's easy for the grant reviewers to look at it, know your business, what you're talking about, and how it's going to help. And of course,
Wow.
yeah.
No, keep going. Don't stop on my account. That was just so rich. I mean, I was taking notes. I asked for three, but I think you went over and above.
Well, it's so important. And I do want to add budget is the most important thing that you can have. Don't skimp on this. We do ask for source and use of funds. So if it's our grant funds, and our grant is only $5,000, and that does not include taxes with it, you want to show 5,000. You can go over that and put owner investment. If it's even higher than that, you could put bank loan or savings,
I
things
see.
like that. So make it clear, but don't make what our funds are going to be used for over or under the grant amount.
Oh my gosh, that is so rich. I'm trying to just summarize and hear all of that. And I heard no fluffs, be personable. Let your grants be personable, let them reflect you. I also heard budgeting. Make sure that the amount you're accounting for, just be accountable for what you're going to use that money for. And cut and paste. Highlight the questions. Make sure the answers can be found. Those are three that really stood out to me. I mean, there was so much more that you shared, like go to a friend, ask for help, and does this make sense? Tell a story. We all want to hear that story. Just don't tell all of your life history, right?
Exactly, because again, you have a judging committee and you don't want to put them to sleep.
I hear you. You want them to be able to still watch their show that night.
Today's show is sponsored by Comerica Bank. Now, if you love the feel of small business banking, but yet want to have access to big business amenities, Comerica is the bank for you. One of the things I like about Comerica Bank is the fact that many of our board meetings were actually held at their locations. Comerica offers small businesses special services like access to their conference rooms, to the HQ that's in Dallas. If you're a small business in Dallas, you ought to visit that spot. There's actually even a room to do a podcast like this one, and so many other things that you can do there. You can have your client meetings and just so much to do. Well, check it out. Go to smallbizcatalyst.org/Comerica to find out how Comerica could be your bank. And now, back to the show.
I have another question for you. What grants are currently available that listeners today can take advantage of?
Okay, well, I'll give a few and some sites that you can go to. So, the Center for Women Entrepreneurs, if they're a women are in Texas, is the Start Her grant. That is our most popular grant,
Okay.
and it's opening on September 3rd. So, now's time to kind of start preparing or thinking about a project that you would have. There's also a lot of other grants that are out there, and I have to tell you that NerdWallet has a list of 45 small business grants, and they've picked up ours as well. I'm happy to give you that link that you can post along with this for
Absolutely.
anybody looking for that. Grants for small businesses are fairly new.
Hmm.
Used to be grants were only for nonprofits,
I
but
see.
after COVID, things really changed. So there are a lot more than were ever out there before. There's a site, I Fund Women. You can find things on there. There's an Amber grant. And again, some of these are going to be on the Nerd Wallet list as well. There are a lot of different sites, and even grants.gov, that's typically where a nonprofit would go, but they are putting some on there for profit businesses as well. So that's a site you can go to and search. And I know before they have even put some of our grants on there. So
Wow.
don't overlook that. And we also try to share all the different grants we find online on our social media sites as well, because we want to share that because we know funding is a big issue for women
Yeah.
entrepreneurs and really all entrepreneurs when they're starting out.
And that's on your link tree as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, because we have that link tree on our website, on our resource page. So if you go to Small Bees Catalyst, that's small biz catalyst.org/resource, you will find TW link tree on there. Just so people know. But yes, I would definitely be posting all of this in the show notes as well so people can easily access them. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so rich. So start a grant opening September 3rd. Guys, ladies, you heard it. Watch out for that. That's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's almost September.
Yes. Oh gosh. This year has flown by. I do have a bonus question for you. What advice do you have for a small business owner to help them thrive?
You know, it can be very hard when you're starting out and feeling very isolating. Make sure you have a strong network. And if you can, network with other small business owners as well. If you can get involved in a program, maybe an incubator, an accelerator program, anything where you can be in contact with other entrepreneurs. Some even go to a co-working space a couple times a week or something just so they can be around and learn from others, but really building a network with other entrepreneurs. And just know as you go along, you're going to be continuing learning. You're going to make mistakes, and mistakes are okay because they are the best education that we get, and know how to improve our business or do something better the next time around. And just really know why you're doing this and appreciate your customers or clients that you work with and really value them because that's what's helping you do what you love.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tracy. I learned so much even from this conversation, and I just really appreciate it. And one of the thoughts that came to me while we were discussing is, we all run to AI these days to do everything for us. But it sounds like even if you're using AI for inspiration, your personality has to come true when you're doing it grants.
Exactly. Well, that leads to one more tip. Sorry. We had an obvious grant come in that was AI, and somewhere it said, put your information in here. So proofread before you submit. We can tell, but that was also one of the really long submissions we got. We could tell it was done by AI.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, this reminds me of those stories we would hear as kids. I mean, as kids, I grew up in a generation where, our exams were done on paper, and you wrote your name on top, and you would color it, shade and pencil. You had to add a number 2B pencil, and and you hear stories about people who copy from the person next to them, including their names.
Oops.
So if you're copying from AI, that's okay. Just put your name and proofread it, and then actually put your personality. Like AI doesn't do the work for you. You still need to do the work. It's supposed to give you inspiration.
Exactly. We love seeing that. And, it's okay, AI, to fine tune what you're writing. But
Yes.
again, make sure you review everything before submission. And again,
Absolutely.
don't be in a rush.
Tracy, this has been a delightful episode. I have no doubts that our listeners would appreciate the knowledge that you've shared with them. I've taken notes and I am going to apply this the next time our organization applies for a budget. I'm definitely coming back to this episode and my notes. Is there something you would like to share with the audience, how to connect with you, or anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
Oh, well, first of all, good luck all of you on your entrepreneurial journey and looking for funding. If we can help in any way, we are the Center for Women Entrepreneurs at TWU, and you can reach out to me at that email as well. It's in the link tree, but it's cwe@twu.edu, and we can help answer any questions. But if they're grant questions, put those through the grants email, because we only answer those questions online. So there's a paper trail
I see.
that we know how we answered something there. So thank you so much. This has been great fun. I hope we get some great applications from people for the Start Her grant.
I hope so too. So, guys, Tracy wants you to apply to the Start Her grant. Who's that for, if I may ask? Is it for somebody who's just starting? Who is it for?
Okay, it is for early startups. You have to at least have formed your business, and it could be a sole proprietor. And a lot of people don't realize you can go to your county clerk for about $25 and apply for that.
What?
Yeah. So the grant is for women-owned businesses in Texas. Has to be at least 51% owner. And here's another tip. Make sure you send the documentation showing all the managers of the company. We list specifically what we need. So make sure you read through and understand what woman-owned is and get us that documentation.
Thank you so much. I mean, you are just full of bonuses and nuggets, and I really appreciate that. I'm really grateful to have you on this show, and I will definitely put all that information in the link notes. And I just really appreciate you and what you do. And I know you've walked on the shoes of the entrepreneurs. You've had your own businesses, still have your own businesses, and now you're helping women grow their businesses. So thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure. We love to see businesses succeed.
Oh, I appreciate it.
If you'd like to learn more, be sure to click on the show notes below for the links to some referrals and recommendations, and even to download a PDF version of today's episode. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.